Good afternoon. Looks like everyone's here, and it's my understanding that we're starting with Mr. Kirkwood.
Correct.
All right.
Here we go.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kirkwood. I'm Judge Schultz with the Kansas City, Kansas Municipal Court. It looks like you're being held on city cases and a county case. As far as the city cases go, right now there's a $200 cash bond that would have to be posted. And the city is seeking jail time, at least on some of the charges if you are found guilty. So you have been appointed an attorney. Mr. Lilich, do you want to be heard on bond, or would you like to have a moment to speak with your client first?
How about I speak with my client, Your Honor?
Sounds good. Mr. Kirkwood, just leave the headphones on, and please let the person know that gave you the headphones that you need to go to the breakout room.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Judge Schultz,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm guessing that person was an interpreter, but they didn't say that that's what they were. But I didn't know we were supposed to even
Interpreter for
have an
what?
interpreter, a Neapolitan or something like that.
Oh, Nepali. Oh,
Nepali, yeah.
shoot. That is
So they're supposed to be trying to sign back on, but I haven't got them back on yet. But nobody
okay.
told me we were having an interpreter or anything, so I didn't know who it was either.
Thank you for the clarification, and hopefully we'll
Yeah.
get that figured out.
Okay.
Mr. Lilich, did you have an opportunity to speak to your client?
I did. Thank you, Your Honor. If I may, Mr. Kirkwood has advised me, Your Honor, that he has been in custody since the day before Thanksgiving. In light of the fact that he has been in custody for that duration of time, I would ask that the court consider him for an own recognizance bond and grant him an OR bond today. I've also reviewed a plea offer with Mr. Kirkwood from the city. If the court wants to take up the bond, I'll hold off on telling you about that status.
Okay. Mr. Khalil, what is the city's position on bond?
Judge, the city wouldn't have an objection to an OR bond. We would just ask that there be a special condition for the defendant not to return to 10824 Parallel Parkway.
Okay, so it looks like when I'm looking at the cases, a lot of them seem to occur or have allegedly occurred at 10824 Parallel Parkway, and then also some other addresses in the Village West area. So I am willing to grant the OR bond with a special condition that you are not to return to 10824 Parallel Parkway and the Legends in general, and while these cases are pending. Also, granting him this OR bond is not actually going to get him out because he does have a pending county case. But at least if that county case somehow gets resolved, the city cases will not hold him up, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. He has told me about that county case.
Okay. All right.
All right, if I may,
Yeah.
Your Honor, I've also reviewed a plea offer that's been made by the city with Mr. Kirkwood. I have discussed that plea offer and the fact that he does have a right to have a trial instead of entering into plea negotiations with the city. I have advised him of his rights related to trial. In lieu of proceeding to trial, he'd like to resolve this matter by this plea agreement with the city. It's his understanding that pursuant to the plea agreement, he'll be pleading guilty to one count of petty larceny or petty theft and one count of trespassing. And in exchange for that plea, the city will move to dismiss his remaining charges, which I believe include about 5 other petty theft charges, some miscellaneous traffic charges, and a failure to appear summons. It's Mr. Kirkwood's understanding that the city will also be recommending that in light of the time he has served since the day before Thanksgiving, that he be ordered to serve a 180-day underlying sentence, that he be granted supervised probation from that sentence for 1 year on the condition that he obtain a mental health evaluation if he doesn't already have one, and follow the recommendations from that, and complete a checkmate class. I have discussed those conditions of this plea offer with him, and another condition of the plea offer is that he pay a $300 fine. I have told Mr. Kirkwood I would request that if the court adopts this plea agreement, that the court allow him time to pay on that fine, Your Honor. And finally, I have explained to Mr. Kirkwood that this plea may negatively impact possible sentencing that he may have on his pending felony case. Despite that caveat, Mr. Kirkwood would ask that the court adopt this plea agreement that I've summarized as its order.
Okay. Mr. Kirkwood, I want to make sure we are all on the same page here. What Mr. Lilich described as the plea offer, pleading guilty to one count of trespassing and one count of petty theft, and the remaining charges would be dismissed. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
And the rights that he was talking about, do you understand that you do have a right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And that if you did go to trial, you would have the assistance of counsel at that
Yes, ma'am.
trial? And do you understand that before a trial, you'd have the right to look at the discovery, police reports, body cam footage, that kind of thing to
Yes,
prepare?
ma'am.
And
Yes,
do you understand that at a trial, your attorney would be able to ask witnesses questions?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you were found guilty at a trial, you would be able to appeal that decision to the Wyandotte County District Court?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty to these two charges, that it could have a potential impact on your criminal history?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing all of that, are you in fact wanting to accept the plea?
Yes.
Okay, so what I will do is we will continue this. Let's see. I know that you have a court date on December 10th for your county case. I'm going to continue this into January. If you are still in custody, we will give you more time. Otherwise, you'll need to appear in person January 27th at 1 o'clock, okay?
Yes, ma'am. But I
All
still
right.
do, if I quit my other case, I still get released on bond.
If you, on that district court case, if they release you, you're not being held by the city cases anymore. So you would get released, okay?
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
You can give the headphones back to Mr. Doyle.
Just checking, all done there, Judge.
We are. Mr. Doyle, I know that we have a Nepali interpreter. I don't know who that's for, but I'm guessing hopefully you have an idea.
No, ma'am, I
Judge-
do.
Okay,
Judge Schultz, it's for somebody that got continued till December the 9th. They're not even supposed to be on there today.
oh,
That probably
okay.
that.
The
Yeah,
two, yeah, the last name's Gurung.
Okay, okay, so interpreter, we will not need you. Thank you very much, but it looks like that person's been continued to December 9th. Have a good day.
all right. And I'm sorry, I'm moving on to the next pod. Julian Cochran.
Okay, sounds good.
Judge Schultz,
Yes, ma'am.
was Mr. Kirkwood granted probation?
Yes. Yes, but I don't think he'll be out. That's why I put him on a Monday. Sorry.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And if he is out and he shows up on that Monday, we'll move him to a probation check-in.
Okay,
That
thank
was
you.
my fault. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you.
Ms. Holden, I put a note in there saying that he needs to be continued to a probation check-in date. Judge Schultz messed up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge and all had a little change of plans, had to get to Mr. Pinto Miejoff next. He's sitting right here.
Sounds good. I'll just, look him up.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pinto Mejia. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm Judge Schultz with the Kansas City, Kansas Municipal Court. It looks like you have city cases pending against you, and right now, it's a $4,750 cash bond you'd have to post. If you are found guilty, the city is seeking jail time. So we have appointed an attorney to your case. Mr. Lilich, do you want to speak to your client first or be heard on bond first?
Judge, how about I speak to him?
Okay, so sir, if you would leave the headphones on and let the person who gave you the headphones know that you need to go to the virtual breakout room.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lilich?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I have reviewed a plea offer with Mr. Pinto Meja. And I've also discussed the status with him with respect to him being incarcerated. Judge, my understanding is that he doesn't have any other pending charges besides those before you. My understanding is he has been in custody since Saturday. In light of the fact that he has been in custody since Saturday, I would ask that the court grant him an own recognizance bond today in light of the time he is served in custody.
Mr. Khalil, what's the city's position?
The city would have no objection to the own recognizance bond, Your Honor. The city would just request a special condition for Mr. Pinto Mejia to not return to 2331 Jerome Avenue and 1410 North 38th Street. Those were the locations of the alleged trespassing violations.
So, Mr. Pinto Mejia, what I'll do is I will grant you an OR bond. There will be special conditions. You are not to return to the following addresses: 2331 Jerome Avenue in Kansas City, Kansas, 1410 North 38th Street in Kansas City, Kansas, and 855 North 34th Street in Kansas City, Kansas. Also, you are not to drive unless properly licensed and insured.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
All right. Mr. Lilich?
Yes, Your Honor. I've also reviewed a plea offer that the city has made with my client. I'm not clear what the underlying sentence will be. Maybe Mr. Khalil can chime in on that part of the plea agreement, and I'll get my client to confirm if he's willing to do that.
What are you looking at, Shane? Sorry, I didn't make this plea, so.
On this one, I've got 3 separate written plea offers to cover all the charges.
Okay.
And on the one that's numbered number 2,
Mm-hmm.
it says 1 year probation, but it doesn't have, there's no underlying sentence. And I got 3 separate written offers. They're labeled in my client's name with the numbers 1, 2, 3.
Okay, well, give me 1 second to sort this out.
The one that's number 2 is the one I'm speaking to.
Is that him pleading to the trespass, Shane?
I'm sorry, John.
Is that him pleading to a trespassing charge, Shane?
And resisting arrest.
Okay, let me look at the resisting arrest.
I don't think I resisted arrest on any of my cases.
Well, this is what we just spoke about. Do you want to talk to me in private again?
No, it's okay.
I see several pending charges. Does the plea offer contemplate the driving under the influence of alcohol and or drugs charge?
Judge, I'm looking at that as well. I think from what I'm seeing in IMDS, and correct me if I'm reading this wrong, Judge, the operating the drug and alcohol, the DUI, I believe there's an indication in IMDS that there was already a guilty plea or a guilty finding from
Yeah,
10/18/2022.
I don't know that there was actually a sentencing though. Let me see.
That was not, that charge, the DUI was not included in the plea offer I reviewed with my
Sure.
client.
And Judge, I'm taking a look at the notes on the DUI. And I'm seeing in the
Yep, he
notes that,
accepted that plea back in 2022. And then it looks like he didn't get sentenced. He failed to appear in court multiple times. Okay, so. Okay, yep, I see that. That should kind of be in an N status then, probably not a Q status.
and I did find what you were talking about, Shane, on the pleas that were sent over, and it would be a 30-day underlying jail sentence.
Okay, well, then, Your Honor, I think if we have my client's other issues cleared up, I think I could go ahead and summarize his understanding of the plea offer and potential plea agreement.
Okay.
Your Honor, it's Mr. Pinto Mejia's understanding that the city has offered that if he pleads guilty to resisting arrest and 2 counts of trespassing, that there would be a 30-day underlying sentence. And Mr. Pinto Mejia, when
Yeah.
I discussed this case with this plea offer with you, we weren't clear on what the underlying sentence is. But the city's asking that your underlying sentence be 30 days in jail and that your probation be from that 30-day sentence for a 1-year period of time. Do you understand that?
So what does that mean? What does that mean? That
That means you're going to be on probation for 1 year
Oh, okay, okay,
from
yeah,
that
yeah,
30-day
yeah.
sentence if the court approves this, and you won't have to serve any of that jail time so long as you don't violate the law and do some of
Right.
the other things I'm going to tell the judge about.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, Judge, then Mr. Pinto Mejia's understanding is that there'll be a 30-day underlying sentence that pursuant to the plea agreement, the court would grant him supervised probation for 1 year on the condition that he obtain a mental health evaluation and follow any of the recommendations, that he obtain, that he complete an anger management class, that he not violate the law, and that the other pending charges would be dismissed. And generally speaking, those other pending charges are interference with a law enforcement officer, failure to appear, criminal damage to property, and 2 other counts of trespassing. Your Honor, I have explained to Mr. Pinto Mejia that he does have an absolute right to have a trial on all these charges, and that if he did proceed to trial, he'd have the assistance of our office and the opportunity to review discovery. He has initially indicated to me that he didn't feel that he resisted arrest. However, he still wished to enter into this plea agreement. He and I discussed that. Despite that discussion and considering the fact that he could proceed to trial, he would prefer to accept this plea agreement from the plea offer from the city, and would ask that the court adopt it as its order.
Mr. Pinto Mejia, is that your understanding of the plea offer?
Yes.
Okay. And do you understand that you do have a right to a trial?
Yes.
And do you understand that you would have the assistance of Mr. Lilich or one of the other appointed attorneys at a trial?
Yes.
Do you understand that you'd be able to review the discovery such as the police report, body cam footage, anything like that prior to a trial?
Yes.
And do you understand that if you did go to a trial, your attorney would be able to ask witnesses questions?
Yes.
And do you understand that if you did go to trial, and if you were found guilty, you would be able to appeal that conviction to the Wyandotte County District Court?
Yes.
Knowing all of that, are you wanting to accept the plea?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. We still have not done a sentencing on that DUI. I'm going to continue this to, first of all, The OR bond obviously has already been granted, so you'll get out later today, Mr. Pinto Mejia.
Oh,
We have
okay.
to finish our whole docket first, then
Thank
we
you.
send the paperwork over, then they'll let you out. So it could be a few hours, but you should get out today.
Okay.
I don't know that he has a provider list, and because of that, I'm going to continue this to December 12th at 1 o'clock for an in-person court hearing so that he can at least then get the evaluator list, and then we can continue it for a DUI sentencing, and then we'll do his probation check-in after that. Okay? So
Okay.
we'll see you December 12th at 1 o'clock. When they let you out of jail later today, they'll give you a piece of paper that shows that, okay? So you'll come to City Hall next Thursday, December 12th at 1 p.m., okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, sir.
Take care. You too.
You can give the headphones back to Mr. Doyle.
Okay.
Just checking we're done, Judge.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can catch Mr. Cochran this time.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent.
So Judge Schultz, I'm not accepting the attorney rec on that. I'm just gonna leave it all the same.
No, you'll
And, oh, go ahead and accept it.
accept the 2 attorney recs.
Okay,
The other one has already been accepted and just needs to be put in an end status.
okay, yeah, I did the in status, okay, and then, okay.
Yep.
I'll do
Yep.
that.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And Ms. Holton, I figured it would be easier for you to see him all at once on all of his probation than piecemeal it out.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Pardon me, Judge, Mr. Cochran's here.
Okay.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cochran. I'm Judge Schultz with the Kansas City, Kansas Municipal Court. You're
Okay.
not being held on the city cases, but if
Okay.
you are convicted of the city cases, at least some of them, the city is seeking jail time. We have appointed an attorney to your case. If you would leave the headphones on, but let the person that gave you the headphones know that you need to go to the virtual breakout room, we'll give you some time to speak to your attorney. Just leave them on.
Send me another invitation, please.
Okay. Ms. Meyer, could you send him another
We got
invite?
disconnected.
Yeah. Will you send him another
There we go.
invite? He
Got
got disconnected.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did we lose the jail?
I think we lost the jail again.
Yeah, Judge, there was, I had audio when I went to the breakout room, but
Okay.
the video froze. So it may be, that might be related to why we're not seeing them.
Okay, okay, so I guess we'll just wait for them to join back. Hopefully that will be soon. When they join again, Mr. Lilich, will you need to actually speak to your client again?
No,
Or-
no,
Okay, you
I
were
had
able
it.
to finish your discussion? Good,
Yes,
good.
we did not have a, well, he said he could see me. I
Okay,
couldn't see him, but he could hear me. So,
okay, sounds good. Thank you.
thank you.
We're back.
Okay. Mr. Cochran, we're gonna give your attorney a second. Okay, all right, go ahead, Mr. Lilich.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I have had the opportunity to discuss a plea offer made by the city with Mr. Cochran. He'd like to accept that plea offer. His understanding of the plea offer is that he would be pleading guilty to one count of trespassing, and in exchange for that plea, the city would move to dismiss his remaining charges, which include two possession of marijuana charges, one petty larceny or theft charge, and one possession of drug paraphernalia charge. It's Mr. Cochran's understanding that the city would also be asking that the court order him not to return to 2939 South 28th Street, and that he attend a theft education class, and that the city would not be seeking any fine or court costs in light of the time that Mr. Cochran has served. Your Honor, Mr. Cochran has advised me that he does have another pending felony matter in Wyandotte County District Court. I've explained to him that should the court accept this plea agreement, that the conviction of trespassing could negatively impact his criminal history score for that other case. Despite that caveat, he would ask that the court adopt this plea agreement I've summarized as its final order, and I'd also ask that you do the same.
Mr. Cochran, I want to make sure, first of all, are you okay? I saw you had to take some medicine.
Yeah, I was taking an inhaler. but
Okay,
yeah.
okay, I just wanted to make sure you were okay or if we needed to
Right.
stop.
No, I'm good. They just want to be able to take off and do what they got to do today.
That's okay, that's okay. I also wanted to make sure if that's your understanding of the plea, that you'd be pleading guilty to one count of trespassing and the rest of the charges would be dismissed.
The only thing I don't understand is, I pretrial to that address. I pretrial to, go to pretrial to that address. And as soon as I got there, they called the cops and made this big old deal up that I trespassed and
Can't
so awful.
hear- Okay, so are
Yeah,
you sure you want to accept the plea?
yeah. Might
Okay,
as well. I'm gonna get it over with.
okay, and do you understand that you do have a right to a trial?
Yeah,
Do you understand that if you did go to a trial, Mr. Lilich or one of the other appointed attorneys would help with that trial?
okay,
Do you understand that?
yeah,
Okay, and do you understand that if you did go to a trial before trial started, you'd have the chance to look at any kind of police report or discovery to help you prepare for a trial?
yeah. I might as well do that.
Do you want to do trial?
Yeah,
That's fine. You can do trial. That is fine. Okay, so what I show is for your county case, your next court date on that is December 17th. Let's see if I
Okay.
can see what kind of hearing that is. Give me one moment. Okay, so that is a sentencing.
Well, if that's sentencing, then I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
So
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I'll
hearing
just go
for
ahead and take
December
care of it.
17th is a sentencing on your,
Yeah,
are you sure?
yeah.
Okay. And you do understand that it could possibly have an impact on your
I don't see how,
criminal history?
I really don't see how it will.
I
I
know,
mean,
I agree with you, but we have to warn you
I
anyway.
understand, I understand.
Okay. Okay, so we will accept the sentence. Give me 1 second.
Your Honor,
Yes,
may I ask a question?
yes.
I heard checkmate class. Will he be on probation?
There is no underlying jail time, so no, he'll have to do that free one that can be done through, the liaison. And he'll just have to set it up with them because there's no underlying jail time, so there is no probation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So what we will do is we will continue this for payment and proof of the class. We'll put this on January 13th at 1 o'clock. Do you know if you're
What if I'm
expecting probation on your
yes,
felony case?
when I go to sentencing, I'm expecting to get released.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll put this on January 13th at 1 o'clock. So you
Okay,
can here in person. On
okay,
that date, they'll give you information about how you can take that theft class. We have a
right,
free version that's offered through our one of our court liaisons, okay?
right.
All right, so we'll send the paperwork over to the jail. They'll put a copy in your property. That way, when you get released on your felony case, you'll know when your court date is, okay?
Okay, thank you,
All
ma'am.
right, thank you. Have a good
Yeah.
day.
Yep, you too. Yeah.
Just checking we're done.
Yes,
Okay, the next two are on the same pod, different floors. So I'll be back. I'll call them out when they show.
okay,
All right, back soon.
thank you.
Mhm.
Judge,
Yes,
on that, he doesn't have any fines at all, but am I supposed to leave one of them open
yeah, you
for
have
him
to
to do that class?
yeah, the one
Okay,
that the notes are on, it's the trespassing
okay,
601433.
okay, so leave that one open for the class.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
I'm back, Judge. Mr. Washington, Jeremiah Washington is here.
Good. Good afternoon, Mr. Washington. I'm Judge Schultz with the Kansas City, Kansas Municipal Court. It looks like you are being held on city cases right now. And at least in some of them, the prosecutor's office is requesting jail time. So we have appointed an attorney. Mr. Lilich, do you want to speak to your client first, or do you want to be heard on bond first?
Why don't I go ahead and speak to my client, Your Honor? Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Washington, go ahead and leave the headphones on and let the person know who gave you the headphones that you need to go to the breakout room.
I need to go to the breakout room. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lilich, did you have time to speak to your client?
I did, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Washington advises me that he has been in the Wyandotte County Jail for 5 or 6 days. In light of that time he has served in jail being held on these charges, I'd ask that the court consider and grant him an own recognizance bond at this time.
Mr. Khalil, what's the city's position?
Judge, the city would have no objection to an own recognizance bond. We just asked for a special condition that Mr. Washington not return to 730 Nebraska, 501 Minnesota Avenue, or 625 Minnesota Avenue.
I want to make sure I have those addresses right. 730 Nebraska, 625 Minnesota Avenue, and then also, is it 501 Minnesota Avenue?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, okay. Okay, so, Mr. Washington, I am going to grant you an OR bond. It is an OR bond with special conditions. That means that you cannot return to those 3 addresses that we just discussed.
Mhm.
All right, and Mr. Lilich, are you wanting me to put him on next week or?
Your Honor, I have reviewed a plea offer that the city has made in this case with Mr. Washington, so that may impact how the court wishes to schedule this matter. If I may, I'd like to go
Okay.
over that plea offer with the court at this
Okay.
time. Your Honor, the city has offered that if Mr. Washington pleads guilty insofar as his pending charges to 3 counts of trespassing and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, that the city will move to dismiss the remainder of his pending charges, and that the city will request that any fines or court costs related to these cases not be imposed or be waived by the court, and that Mr. Washington be ordered to complete an alcohol and drug education class. Your Honor, I have explained to Mr. Washington that he does have an absolute right to have a trial on these pending charges, and that if he proceeded to trial, he would have the assistance of my office with that trial, and I have explained his related trial rights. In lieu of proceeding to trial, he would like to enter into this plea agreement I've described, and he would ask that the court adopt this plea agreement as its final order.
Okay, so Mr. Washington, is that your understanding of the plea offer?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and Mr. Washington, do you understand that you do have the right to a trial?
Yes,
Do you understand that if you did go to trial, you'd have the assistance of Mr. Lilich or one of the other appointed attorneys at trial?
yes,
Do you understand that if you did go to trial, you would have the opportunity to review discovery, look at police reports before a trial to help you prepare?
yes,
Do you understand that at a trial, your attorney would be able to ask witnesses questions on your behalf?
yes,
And do you understand that if you did go to trial and you were found guilty, that you would be able to appeal that decision to the Wyandotte County District Court?
mm-hmm, yes,
And knowing all of that, do you want to accept this plea offer?
yes.
Okay,
Time served, yes.
hold on one second. It's not just time served. You'd also have to do a 1-day drug and alcohol education class. Do you understand that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
okay. So what we'll do is, so that you can get, we do offer that class for free through municipal court, but you'll need to come up to court to be able to get that information. So what we'll do is we will continue this to December 9th at 1 p.m. because you're not on probation. It's just going to be that you have to get that class completed. And we'll have you come to court December 9th at 1 p.m. That's where they'll give you the information about the class, okay? When you get out later today, they'll give you a piece of paper that tells you that. We have to finish the whole docket first and then send the paperwork over, so it could still be a few hours, but you'll get out today, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, you have a nice one.
You too. So Ms. Meyer, again.
And
on-
Callahan is next.
Okay, so Ms. Meyer, on that one, you're gonna leave, it's on the 693, no, sorry. It's on the 693-271. So you'll leave that one.
That
open.
one open, everything else closed?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We are ready for Mr. Callahan.
Correct.
Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Callahan.
Good afternoon.
I am Judge
Could be
Schultz.
better.
I bet. I'm Judge Schultz with the Kansas City, Kansas Municipal Court. You're not being held on the municipal court cases. You've already been given an OR bond.
Yes.
But if you are convicted of at least some of those, the city is seeking jail time. So we have appointed an attorney to your case.
Okay.
We're gonna have you leave your headphones on and tell the person that gave you the headphones that you need to go to the virtual breakout room so you can have a conversation with your attorney, okay?
Okay. I
Thank
need
you.
to go to the,
Yep.
yeah.
Understand?
All
No,
right.
leave those on.
Okay.
Put you in a private conversation with the public.
John, can you look on that Washington, that Jeremiah Washington, the last one we did?
Yeah, what do you need?
There's a trespassing that wasn't part of the attorney rec. It was ticket 697753.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go. Let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead and dismiss that one, Dorothy.
Okay.
That wasn't a big deal. But this is with the judge. He'll speak.
Mr. Lilich, did you have an opportunity to speak to your client?
I did, Your Honor. Thank you. Your Honor, the city has made a plea offer. I have reviewed that with Mr. Callahan. Mr. Callahan would like to accept that plea offer to resolve his pending charges before you. And if I may, I'll summarize his understanding of that.
Yes.
Your Honor, it's Mr. Callahan's understanding that if he pleads guilty to trespassing and possession of an open alcoholic container in a vehicle, that the city will move to dismiss his remaining pending charges, and that the city will request that he be ordered not to return to 2119 North 32nd Street, and that he pay total fines and court costs of $350. Your Honor, I have told Mr. Callahan that if the court approves this plea agreement, that I would request that the court allow him time to pay that $350. Judge, I have explained to Mr. Callahan that he does have an absolute right to have a trial on these charges, and his related rights to trial, including appeal, if he were found guilty at trial. And instead of proceeding to trial, he'd request that the court adopt this plea agreement I've described as its order. Judge, one other point with Mr. Callahan, he does have a pending case in Wyandotte County District Court. I have explained to him that as a result of this plea agreement, that the conviction could negatively impact his criminal history score in that case, and he understands that and would still like to enter into this plea agreement.
Okay. First thing I want to go over is it looks like on the attorney rec, on the possession of an open container of an alcoholic beverage, there's a fine, but they didn't enter the state fee. So your total actually would be $373.50. Mr. Callahan, I want to make sure that you do understand that. The state fee is not something that I can just get rid of. And I think that whoever did the offer, sometimes it gets confusing when there are mixed misdemeanors and traffic. The state fee applies to traffic, but not to misdemeanor. So I'm guessing that's why it got left off.
Okay.
Okay, so it will be a smidge higher, that $373.50. Is that you're knowing that? Does that affect your wish to accept the plea? Okay. And the rights that he was talking about, the right to a trial, assistance of counsel, review of discovery, confront witnesses, and to appeal the decision to Wyandotte County District Court. Is that your understanding of your rights?
Yes.
And do you understand that there could be a potential impact on your criminal history?
Yeah, I mean, I do, but I don't think it's going to be enough to.
I know, we just always
it.
have to warn you about it though.
Right.
Okay, and knowing all of that, are you wanting to accept the offer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, it seems like that's the best deal. Otherwise I'd have to deal with the other stuff and other fines and more court dates and all that. And I have a memory problem with anything that has to do with numbers, dates and phone numbers and all that kind of stuff. So
okay,
it
so
pretty much simplifies everything for me.
I will accept your plea. I know that your district court case is set for December 17th. I'm going to continue this to, that's a December calendar. I need a January calendar, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we do like January? Because I'm not sure how long I'll be here.
I'm going to continue this to January 27th for payment.
27th, okay.
Yeah, January 27th for payment. And if we'll send something over to the jail noting that today they'll put a copy in your property. If you get released on the county case, that way you'll have a copy
Okay.
showing that you either need to make a payment or appear by January 27th. If you're still in custody, we'll handle it on video, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day.
You too.
Check back in with the empty. Making sure we're done there, Judge.
Yes,
All right, new pod, Aragon Mendel,
okay,
back soon.
thank you. ready, Mr. Doyle. Good afternoon, Mr. Mendel. I am Judge Schultz with the Kansas City, Kansas Municipal Court. It looks like you're not being held on the city cases. You've already been granted an OR bond on those. But if you are convicted, the city is seeking jail time on at least one of those charges. We have appointed an attorney to your case. If you would leave the headphones on, please, we'll have you tell Mr. Doyle, the person who gave you the headphones, that you need to go to the breakout room.
Judge, are we still gonna, is the court still gonna take up the Andrea Watson matter?
Yes, I believe that is, yeah, we have two left after this. Andrea Watson and Esther Flores.
John, I don't believe Miss Watson was included in the plea offers. Could you send that over to me? when you
Yep, I'll
get
get it sent over to you right now, Shane.
Okay, thanks, John.
Mr. Lilich, have you had an opportunity to speak to your client?
I have, Your Honor. Thank you. And I've also had the opportunity to review a plea offer with him that the city has made. Your Honor, my client doesn't have a recollection of this alleged battery. He wanted me to be sure, well, if there are any holds from this at the moment with you, Your Honor, he wanted me to address that with you and ask that you set aside any of those holds. He would request that that the court grant him a review date because I believe he might want to review the discovery from this case with our office. He does have a felony hold at this time, and I did advise him that you could not release him from that.
Correct. All I can release him from is, well, he already has been granted an OR bond on this city case. So I can't, do anything about the county case, but he is not being held on the city cases. So what we can do though is we can continue this. Let me see. It looks like the county case is set for December 19th. So I definitely want to put this for after that. How about we continue this to January 17th at 1 o'clock? That way, sir, if you're still in custody, we'll see you on video. Otherwise, if you've been released on the county case, you'll need to appear January 17th at 1 p.m. at City Hall. We will send paperwork over to the jail showing that you need to be in court January 17th at 1 o'clock. That way, if you get released on your county case, you'll have paperwork showing that, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you. Goodbye.
Judge, as you may have known, we had to go without the microphone or the headphones. It's just the way it
Yep.
was. Moving on to the females, new floor, new pod. I'll be back soon.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Watson, is that correct? I cannot hear you. Will you tell the person with the headphones that we can't hear you?
We're gonna try again in just a second, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know, bad microphones or something. We're gonna have to do it without the headset.
Okay, that's fine. Ms. Watson, I'm Judge Schultz with the Kansas City, Kansas Municipal Court. It looks like you are only being held on the city cases. And if you are found guilty of at least one of the charges, you are facing the possibility of jail time. Right now, there is a $250 cash bond that you'd have to post. We have appointed an attorney to your case. Mr. Lilich, do you want to be heard on bond or do you want to speak to your client first?
Your Honor, may I speak to my client before being heard on bond?
Yes. So, Ms. Watson, we're gonna have you go to the virtual breakout room. You'll just stay right there and we'll get you over there, okay?
Okay. So what's gonna happen?
We're gonna put you in a
Mr. Lilich, did you have an opportunity to speak to your client?
I did. Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Ms. Watson has advised me and Mr. Doyle's confirmed that she has been incarcerated since January the 22nd. From speaking with,
No.
I'm sorry,
November.
November the 22nd. I was thinking about two different things here, Judge. Since
Okay.
November the 22nd, and in light of her being in custody for that period of time, I would ask that the court consider and grant her an own recognizance bond. I've also reviewed a plea offer that the city has made with her. She has given some serious consideration to that plea offer. She'd like some more time to think about that. So, Your Honor, if you are inclined to grant her an own recognizance bond, I would just ask that the court schedule a court date sometime in the near future, order her to appear, and we'll see where we're at on this plea offer that I've reviewed with her today.
Okay, Mr. Khalil, what's the city's position on bond?
City has no objection to an OR bond, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Watson, I'll grant you an OR bond. This is going to be an OR bond with a special condition. You're not
Yes.
to drive unless you're properly licensed and insured. And we will continue this to December 12th at 1 p.m. That way you can meet in person with the,
My attorney.
yeah, with your attorney. That way also, if you need to make an appointment with your attorney, they'll explain to you in court how to get that done. And that way you'll be able to get something done, okay? So you'll get out later today. We have to finish the docket first, then we send the paperwork over. So it could be a few hours, but you'll get out later today, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. See you on the 12th.
Yep, you're good. Good luck to you. Ms. Flores, yeah, check in with the deputy. I'm gonna use those. Perfect. And lastly, Ms. Flores, she's just about ready.
Okay. And on Miss Watson, she's got an old case in payment status. Ms. Meyer, will you please close that?
Close the payment one?
Yes,
Okay,
it's from 2011. So
okay.
we'll close that. Okay. Ms. Flores, thank you for your patience. I'm Judge Schultz. It looks like you are not being held on the city cases, but if you are convicted, the city is seeking jail time on at least one of the charges against you. So you have been appointed an attorney. We're gonna have you just stay right there and we will have you go to a virtual breakout room and meet with your attorney, okay?
I understand. This is a one-on-one conversation with you and your public defender, so. Judge will ask you some questions as well.
Mr. Lilich, whenever you're ready.
All right, Your Honor. Refresh my recollection, Judge. Did you say that Ms. Flores had been granted an OR bond?
Yes, she has on the city cases. She's being held on a county case, and it looks like that's set for December 20th.
Yes, and Your Honor, my understanding from speaking to Ms. Flores, she has been in the Wyandotte County Jail since March of this year. I have had the opportunity to review a plea offer with Ms. Flores. After discussing that plea offer with her and going over with her her right to have a trial on her pending charges, and pointing out to her that our office would assist her with that trial and that she would have an absolute right to appeal any conviction from the trial on these charges. She would like to enter into this plea agreement with the city. Judge, it's Ms. Flores' understanding that if she pleads guilty to interference with a law enforcement officer and trespassing, that the city will move to dismiss her other pending charges, that in light of the fact that she has been incarcerated since March of this year, the city's not seeking any fines or court costs or underlying sentence, but the city is, as part of the plea agreement, is asking that the court order her not to return to 304 James Street, that she attend a theft education class, and that she complete an anger education class. Your Honor, Ms. Flores has told me that she is getting some limited services from Wyandotte County Mental Health in custody. I had mentioned to her that they might be able to assist her with completing that anger management class in conjunction with those services. Judge, I would ask that you adopt this plea agreement that I've just summarized as the court's final order in this matter.
Okay. Ms. Flores, I want to make sure, first of all, that that is your understanding of the plea agreement, that you would be entering a guilty plea to those two charges, and the remainder of your charges would be dismissed.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Okay, I also want to make sure, do you understand that you do have a right to a trial?
Yeah, I do.
And do you understand that if you did go to trial, that Mr. Lilich or one of the appointed attorneys would assist you with that trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that before a trial, you would be able to review any of the discovery in that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that at a trial, you would be able to confront witnesses, or your attorney would ask witnesses questions?
Yes, I understand that, Your Honor.
And do you understand that if you did go to trial and you were found guilty, that you would have the right to appeal that decision to Wyandotte County District Court?
Yes, I understand that, Your Honor.
And do you understand that by entering a guilty plea to these two charges, it could have a potential impact on your criminal history?
Yes, I understand that, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's my understanding that Ms. Flores, you've been in custody since March 12th, is that correct?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so, and I honestly don't know when she's going to be released. So what I'm willing to accept the plea, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sentence you to 30 days, give you credit for time served. That way, when you get out, you don't have to do the classes. You're not gonna owe a fine. These city matters are done, okay?
I'd rather honestly do the classes, so if I could get out.
You do
Yeah,
want to
I
do
don't
the
mind
classes?
doing the classes.
Okay, give me 1 second.
But Judge, I don't believe Ms. Flores is differing with your order. Perhaps the court would consider encouraging her to do the classes once she's released without ordering her to do the classes.
So, The only issue is that if she's not ordered to do them, the free option that we have through court wouldn't be available to her.
Oh, I understand, Your Honor. Thank you.
So that would be the issue. So Ms. Flores, I'm gonna give you a moment to think it over. If you do want to do those classes, that's
Yeah, I
fine.
do.
We'll adopt- you do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we will adopt the sentence as written, and we will continue this to January. Sorry, give me a moment. 31st at 1 p.m. That way, if you're still in custody, we'll see you by video. Otherwise, you'll need to appear in person at 1 o'clock, January 31st at City Hall. And while you appear in court that day, they can give you that information about how to do those classes, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
You too.
Check back with the deputy. Good luck to you. Okay, I think that's my list. I know that's my list.
Yes, yep,
Okay.
that is correct. Okay, so Miss Meyer, on that one, you're gonna leave 688-009 open,
Okay,
okay?
And
All
Judge,
right.
Ms. Flores, since she's gonna be here, I'll point her out to programs. She may be able to take care of some of that while she's here because of the other case.
Okay, all right, thank you, everyone, have a good weekend.
All right, see ya. Have a
I
good weekend.
just want to point out,
Best of luck to you.
this is John's
right.
last jail docket.
No way.
Let's all bid him farewell and good luck in his new career path.
Yes,
Thank you, everyone.
how
Thank you.
Bye.
exciting.
Good luck.
All right,
pleasure.
bye.
Best
Bye.
wishes to you.
Thank you. Bye.